You know the moment. You land, you're tired, your brain is half in your home time zone, and the airport feels like a moving river. Signs are unfamiliar. Your phone may or may not connect, and suddenly you're digging for confirmations, addresses, and that one document you swear you saved. This is where travel can stop feeling like freedom and start feeling like friction. Here's the truth. You don't need to be good at travel to travel well. You need one repeatable system, one setup you can run for a weekend in Montreal, a month in Portugal, or a winter escape in Mexico. When you stop reinventing every trip, you stop paying the confusion tax, and you start traveling with calm confidence. In this video, I'll give you a retiree travel starter kit designed for US and Canadian retirees and beyond. It's simple, practical, and built for the real trip breakers: documents, border friction, health coverage, phone access, money mistakes, booking traps, and the scams that show up when you're distracted. If you're new here, subscribe to Travel Choir. We build a retirement travel lifestyle that's inspiring, but also sturdy enough to handle real airports and real bureaucracy. Stay to the end, because I'll show you how to turn this into a reusable checklist you can run before any trip in minutes. Experienced travelers don't have better instincts. They have fewer decisions because they run the same system every time. The goal isn't to become a travel expert. The goal is to build a routine that produces the same result. You always know where your essentials are, and you can always prove who you are, where you're staying, and what you'll do if something goes wrong. Your starter kit has two parts. One, digital one-place folder you can open from your phone, and one slim physical backup you can reach fast. Not a binder, not a suitcase full of papers, just enough to stay calm if your phone dies, your account locks, or your battery gives up at the worst moment. The magic is consistency. If your documents and confirmations live in the same place on every trip, you stop hunting. You stop scrolling through emails at a border desk. You stop improvising. That calm isn't just convenience. It changes how the whole trip feels, because your brain isn't spending energy preventing chaos. Retiree travel is often longer and more international, which means borders matter. Borders don't reward charm. They reward clarity. Start with passport readiness. If your passport is drifting into the expiring soon zone, renew early. Different countries and airlines can treat validity rules differently, and you never want to discover that rule at check-in. Next, make entry requirements a routine, not a guess. Before you book anything substantial, verify what your citizenship needs for that destination. Then verify again closer to departure. Sometimes it's an electronic authorization. Sometimes it's proof of onward travel, proof of funds, or a simple address for the first night. You don't have to memorize rules. You just have to capture what applies to you and store it in your one-place folder. Now build a border-ready page. It includes your first address, your onward or return plan, your insurance confirmation, and a plain language trip purpose that you can say without thinking. You're visiting, you're sightseeing, you're staying in short-term accommodation, you're leaving on a specific date. The goal is to sound consistent because you are consistent. If you travel with medication, add a simple prescription list that matches the name on your passport, and when appropriate, a brief note from your doctor. If you drive, add your driver's license and whatever additional permit you might need. None of this is about fear. It's about removing friction when you're tired. Finally, set your physical backup. One printed copy of your passport photo page, one printed copy of your insurance and itinerary, and one emergency contact card. Paper is not old-fashioned. Paper is what keeps you calm when technology refuses to cooperate. Retirees feel this category deeply, even when they don't talk about it. Not panic, just the awareness that a minor issue can turn into a major logistics problem if you're not prepared. Your system makes health manageable by turning it into a few clear decisions. You need to know what your home coverage does and does not do outside your province or outside the US. You need to know whether you're relying on travel medical insurance, whether pre-existing conditions matter for you, and whether emergency evacuation is included or separate. You also want to know how to contact the insurer, what they'll ask for, and whether you're expected to call before certain types of care. Create a one-page health snapshot inside your folder. It includes your conditions, medications, allergies, and your doctor's contact, plus an emergency contact. If you ever had to communicate quickly at a clinic, this removes the mental load of trying to remember details under stress. The purpose of travel medical coverage isn't to make you feel brave. It's to prevent a medical moment from becoming a financial disaster or a stranded in the wrong place scenario. So you're optimizing for clarity and process. You don't need to master policy language. You need a routine you can follow while tired, worried, or jet-lagged. Now we get to the quiet trip killers, booking mistakes, payment issues, and scams that target travelers in motion. These aren't dramatic. They're small errors at the wrong time. Adopt a booking sanity routine. Before you confirm, you verify dates and time zones, you read cancellation terms, you confirm who you're paying, and you save the confirmation in your one-place folder. The goal is not perfection. It's fewer surprise problems when you're already traveling. For money, your starter kit has one rule: never let one card or one account be your single point of failure. Travel with at least 2 ways to pay that aren't dependent on the same login, the same card network, or the same account. Store the issuer contact numbers in your folder so you're not searching in panic. If your bank uses security checks, set your expectations before you go. Now the scam smart defaults. You don't click urgent links. You don't confirm bookings through random texts. You don't trust caller ID. You slow down when something tries to rush you. Travel scam patterns and booking warnings are covered by AARP, and the common thread is simple. A scam steals your attention first, then your decision. Your retiree advantage is patience. You can pause, you can verify. You can say, "I'll call back using the official number." That single sentence blocks an enormous percentage of travel scams. This is also where I want you to grab the free Retiree Travel Starter Kit checklist linked in the description. It's built so you can run this whole system in minutes before any trip, and reuse it every time. You'll also see optional resources in the description that many retirees use to reduce friction, especially for insurance, connectivity, and arrivals. They're there if you want them. If you've ever landed with no signal, you already know why connectivity belongs in the starter kit. Your phone is your maps, your confirmations, your banking alerts, and often your two-factor authentication. When it fails, everything feels harder. So your system uses a simple principle. You should be able to connect without solving a puzzle in an airport. Decide your plan before you leave and store the steps in your one-place folder. If you use an eSIM, keep the activation instructions accessible. If you keep your US or Canadian number for banking texts or verification, decide how you'll maintain it before you're abroad, not after. Then build an offline layer. Download offline maps for the first city. Screenshot your first address and the route from the airport. Save key confirmations locally on your phone so you can access them without email. These small steps turn arrival stress into a routine. And don't ignore basic device safety. Strong passcode, device tracking enabled, and caution with public Wi-Fi for anything financial. Again, not fear, just fewer ways for the trip to become complicated. Most retirees have the same landing goal: get to the bed, get to the shower, get to calm. That's exactly why the first hour matters, because fatigue makes everyone less careful. Your starter kit includes an arrival script. You already know how you'll get from the airport to your lodging. You know where pickups happen, how rides are requested, or which official queue you'll use. You know what you'll do if someone offers help before you're oriented, or if a driver claims your reservation doesn't exist. When you decide those responses in advance, you don't negotiate with confusion on the spot. Once you arrive, do a quick verification routine. Confirm the address and entry details. Confirm the door locks properly. Give valuables a consistent home, even if it's one pocket in one bag. Then you relax, because you've earned it. This is what a system feels like. Not rigid, not paranoid, just calm. The final piece is what turns a trip into, "This is my life now." It's tiny routines that keep you stable over weeks, not days. Each travel day, do a quick reset. Confirm tomorrow's plan, charge devices, return documents to their home, and do a fast check that cards and ID are where they should be. It takes a minute, and it prevents the worst kind of problem, discovering something is missing only after you've left a taxi, a cafe, or an airport seat. Once a week, do a slightly bigger admin check. Review upcoming bookings. Scan transactions for anything suspicious. Confirm your next move, and update your one-place folder. This is how retirees travel longer with less stress. Not by being fearless, but by being gently organized. And if you want this to feel effortless, use the checklist in the description as your template. Run it the same way each time, and after a few trips, it becomes automatic. Right before we close, if you want to make this even smoother, the description includes optional tools for travel medical coverage, eSIM connectivity, and airport-to-city transfers. The links help support the channel, and they can save you time and reduce friction when you're planning longer trips. Here's what your retiree travel starter kit really does. It gives you freedom without guesswork. It helps you move through airports, borders, bookings, and unexpected moments with calm competence. One system, any trip. If you want, tell me in the comments where you're going next, or what part of travel still feels stressful even after years of life experience. I'll read those, and they shape what we cover next. And if this helped, subscribe to Travel Choir, tap like, and turn on notifications. We're building a retirement travel lifestyle that's not just dreamy but durable, so you can keep saying yes to the world with confidence.